Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about a potential signing for the Dallas Mavericks. And today was announced by Bleacher Report and another NBA insider that I can't remember. I think it was Action Network, but I'm not too sure, that the Mavericks are interested in two free agents that are small forwards / power forwards, and they're both interested in signing Harrison Barnes and Grant Williams. And we're going to be talking about a potential Harrison Barnes signing for the Dallas Mavericks. As during the NBA trade deadline, we saw so many trades that had old players that used to play for an old team traded back to their old franchise. You saw Spencer Dinwiddie go to the Nets. You saw D'Lo go back to the Lakers. You saw a couple other ones. I forgot. Jakob Poeltl went back to the Raptors. What else was it? What else? T.J. Warren went back to the Suns. There was a couple other more, but not. There was I think there was at least maybe more than 6 or 7 players that were going back in the trade deadline to former teams that they used to play for, and it seems that could be the same thing. It could be the same thing in free agency. You see teams like the Rockets and other teams interested in a lot of players that used to be on their roster, and Dallas has interest in bringing in Harrison Barnes, who was on their roster from he was a part of that Warriors team in the 15-16 season, and I think that's when he left them. Yeah, the 16. So he joined the Dallas Mavericks in the 16-17 season. I can't remember if he was traded or signed there, but was with Dallas in the 16-17 season, the 17-18 season as well, and maybe I don't know if he got traded at the trade deadline of the 2017-18 season or the 2018-19 season. But that very, very famous. He got traded mid-game. He got traded to the Sacramento Kings mid-game. I mean, the game was still going on. I now that I think about it more, I think this was the 2018-19 trade deadline, and the Mavericks were playing a game. I don't remember who, and they ended up trading him mid-game. And Harrison Barnes ends up finding out about the trade, leaves the locker room. I mean, leaves the game. I'll never forget that moment. Watching him. Sitting on the. He wasn't on the court when he was told, but he was sitting on this. He was sitting on the bench, and someone gave word to him that he was traded to the Sacramento Kings. And you could see the shock in his face. I mean, I bet he, kind of knew there was a chance he was going to get traded. But for that to happen while the game was going on, I think that was probably surprising. And then he ended up leaving, mid-game, and that was unbelievable. I just remember watching that, so many times when that happened. But I mean, I don't think Harrison Barnes has any hard feelings. He's not that type of guy to, hold a grudge because Dallas traded him mid-game, even though that's kind of embarrassing, to have to. I mean, it's not very embarrassing, but it's a tiny bit embarrassing. But at the same time, I think Harrison Barnes might have some interest in going back to Dallas. I don't really know what he's worth in free agency. I mean, I would think he would be in the area of worth around $12 to $15 million in free agency per year. I think in a Dallas deal where they're kind of, they need to re-sign Kyrie, probably would like to make another move after signing Kyrie and bringing back Harrison Barnes most likely. I mean, you'd be able to do a very, very cheap deal, like a $1 or $2 million deal. Not saying you're not going to bring in someone really good, but could bring in someone solid for around $2 to $4 million. I mean, realistically, the Mavs could re-sign Kyrie, sign Harrison Barnes, and then maybe sign another player in the area of $2 to $4 million. But you're bringing Harrison Barnes. I think it's going to be for a 2-year, $25 million deal or 2-year, $26 million deal. I think most likely that the Mavs are going to be willing to pay Harrison Barnes anywhere the number of $12.5 to $13.5 million a year. And I think Dallas is probably going to only want to sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal. Now, I don't know if that's going to be something Harrison Barnes is interested in, but at the same time, it would be a great move for Dallas. They get Kyrie Irving back and Luka. Those are the two main good players on the roster. They trade away some trade pieces that they have. Let's just say they trade Maxi Kleber, Josh Green, and the 10th overall pick for DeAndre Ayton. So DeAndre Ayton comes in. Harrison Barnes is the small forward, and whoever's at the power. I don't really know who would be at the power forward. They have some other trade. They would. Let's just say they keep Tim Hardaway Jr. So most likely the roster, if they do that trade, would be Kyrie, Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr., Harrison Barnes, and DeAndre Ayton for the starting lineup for Dallas, and then would have a decent, bench as well. I don't know in this scenario if Tim Hardaway Jr. would be staying with the with the Mavs. Most likely would probably still get traded, even though Phoenix traded. And I know probably thinking, why would Tim Hardaway Jr. not be in the trade with the Suns? I think in this trade with this Phoenix Suns, which with the Ayton trade, Maxi Kleber, you might be, Phoenix might not be getting as much as they could be getting for DeAndre Ayton with a Maxi Kleber, Josh Green, and 10th overall pick for DeAndre Ayton. But I think they're going to be okay with getting some decent bench depth, and not only bench depth, but good defensive players, and then they can draft a good defensive player with the 10th overall pick as well, because they need bench depth, and you're trading DeAndre Ayton for lots of bench depth with having the 10th overall pick and Josh Green and Maxi Kleber for Ayton. I think that would be probably the best trade for Phoenix to do now that DeAndre Ayton is most likely the next trade for them. So we'll see what happens, though. I mean, I think Harrison Barnes would be a good signing for Dallas. And then after you sign Harrison Barnes, if you do, you have to figure out some trades because they have a lot of players that they might potentially trade to upgrade the roster this offseason. But it'll be really interesting to watch this offseason. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.